You have another example where you talk about how does it affect women to be able to get or not get an abortion in the long run. People cite the Turnaway Study. They interviewed a whole bunch of women who went to abortion clinics to get abortions, and a bunch of them got abortions, and a bunch of them were turned away because they were past like whatever the limit was for the clinic. And then this study followed those two groups over the course of 5 years and measured all these outcomes. The Turnaway Study found 99% of women who got abortions did not regret it. And people talk about that a lot. But the same study also asked the women who couldn't get abortions 5 years later. 96% of them said they no longer wish they'd gotten an abortion. And people will be like, oh, well, of course, because now they have like a 4.5-year-old kid standing in front of them. And that's not a full explanation either. Even a week after these women sought abortions, a third of them said they no longer wish they'd gotten one. I feel like that's the more interesting statistic. So you have these women who show up at a clinic expecting and hoping to get an abortion that day. A week later, they still don't have a child sitting in front of them that they've bonded with. And presumably whatever was going on in their lives that made them feel they needed to go to a clinic to get an abortion probably is still going on a week later. And a third of them already said, you know what, I don't regret not getting it. I don't bring this up to say if nobody's allowed to get an abortion, everyone will be really happy about it. I'm saying it's a great example of how we talk a lot about how all these women didn't regret getting their abortions and nothing about all these women who didn't regret not being able to get abortions. I find it to be very disingenuous. If you want to know about how not getting an abortion affects women's lives, how the women themselves say they feel about it should matter.